check.
Uh-oh, we got some missing 411 today, huh?
Yeah. So, I was gonna tell you. So,
Missing peopleses.
I bought a book. That book on that lady who bought that house in Bronx, right?
Yeah.
And I was reading it. And that was gonna be my story for this week because I've had it for like months now. And then the other day, I was just for the hell of it. I was at home and I was doing something, and I put on a documentary, Missing 411: The Hunted, which is stories about hunters going missing.
Wow.
And the first one that came up in that documentary was the one about Tom Messick. It was so absolutely crazy and just creepy as hell that I was like, okay,
wow.
I scrapped the story because then I looked at what we had, We did Indiana, which the one Hazel just listened to was also a growing up in a haunted house story.
Oh, okay.
That was more recent than our Georgia Missing 411.
Okay.
So I figured it's about time to do another. And I'm not even going to call it Missing 411. I'm just going to classic.
Oh, okay.
Because, as we'll find out, during the search for him, another elderly man went missing off his property like 50 miles away.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, yeah, we're going to scrap that and go with this.
Okay.
This
missing person.
Missing person.
Hey, we haven't done one in a while, so yeah.
No, we have not.
Matter of fact, we've only done the one episode with missing peoples.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah,
it was like what the.
And at least on Red Circle, it got more. It got a good amount of listens. Let's see.
We're not still on there, right?
No. But our account's still active. But we're to speaker now. So Spreaker.
Yeah, no shit.
Where's Georgia at? Georgia on my mind.
Georgia.
So we have 57 here, but
that's a reset number because of jumping around. So.
Exactly. Yeah. But hell, even see, these aren't resets because these are all after we came back. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we came back end of August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are not a resets, but Montana's a reset, and man, that's got 151.
Holy shit!
Yeah, people like that bear story.
Grizzly bear.
The burr
killed him a bear when he was only 3.
Okay.
So how are we looking on our?
Let's find out. Yeah, they have to reset the total count because it was because of that whole mess up. It was counting 4 fucking podcasts, and so.
Oh, geez.
I know. That's all, and
But they can fix it, right?
I hope so. I contacted her to let her know, so I haven't heard back yet. But that was on Friday. So
now the new disappeared from the What the Suck and the State of Fear. The little new in brackets.
Yeah, because I deleted that manually.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I deleted from here, which deleted it from the.
Gotcha.
The thing. Yeah, so it says 9:15, but that's not right. We're actually at 325 and 101, but that's in like 11 days.
Holy shit.
325 in 11 days. 28 on our last one.
Damn.
Yeah, which was released 2 days ago.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
New Mexico.
We got 12 on Devil Monkey since coming over. 11 on Mercritus. 10 on Emily. 11 on the Indiana one. 15 on the Georgia Mississippi 401 one. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so we're getting up there. Yeah.
This is reset numbers then, you said.
These are just since we came over on the 1st of October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is no
Yeah, there's not reset, not these ones.
But yeah, so if they can combine them, maybe we even got Mo.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What the suck? We have 101 total so far.
Oh.
Yeah. Got 12 on House of Dead, 13 on Summoning.
Summoning bitch. I remember you call her.
Summoning. Yeah. So yeah, doing pretty good on that one too.
Summon my bitch.
But we already have $6.41 in the bank.
Damn.
Yeah, because they put a ton of ads in the episodes.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah. Which makes our Patreon all the more attractive.
Yes, it does.
There are no ads at all in that motherfucker.
No ads.
Nope. So, yeah.
We'll get paid, motherfucker.
Get paid.
Spricker, spricker, spricker.
All right, you ready, sir? Stereo shit.
Yes, I am ready.
All right.
Ready, Freddy.
I did also want to. So I also wanted to test the speed when we have the Audacity going and see if that.
And she did say I was breathing in the Indiana episode. That was before we got to listen to that. I could hear you breathing. I said, you could? I was like, okay. So
I hear myself breathing.
What
all
am I
the time,
supposed
too.
to do?
Yeah,
Your turn. Read quick.
I hear myself breathing too, but that's what it is. I mean,
Who cares?
we're live people, not vampires.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna breathe.
Blah, blah, blah.
We're going to breathe. If you don't like
I
it,
do not do this blah, blah, blah.
go listen to the Kling Brothers. How about that?
Yeah, no shit. You want to talk about a bunch of mouth breathers?
Yeah, no.
Getting mouth breathing motherfuckers.
Yeah, even the Audacity drops it down a bit. Not as much, but
Holy shit.
yeah, still a bit. Still pretty good though.
Audacity.
Yeah.
And no video going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, we just.
I mean, it's still fast enough to stream 4K video, so it's not bad.
Oh yeah.
But when we have the availability to do 600 Mbps, we want to do that. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. Because my desktop can't even do 600. It can do at the most 3050.
Yep.
And that's hardwired too. So if this motherfucker
yep.
can do it, then yeah, for sure.
That's a ThinkPad. Whatchamacallit?
Yeah, Lenovo ThinkPad. Yeah.
I need to know what model it is. I can look up all the specs and get the RAM ordered or go get it.
All right, we'll turn it over. Look at it tonight.
Okay.
Before you leave. All right, let's do this, shall we?
All right,
here we go. All right, time for everybody. Shut the Welcome back to State of Fear Podcast. I am your host, Chris, and with me, as always, is my good friend, my good buddy, James.
what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, welcome back. Episode 33.
Yes,
Man, we are just plowing through these,
rolling,
man.
man.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, tonight we're going to do the great state of New York.
Well, most of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I have been to New York, so yes.
Yeah. So
there are very good parts.
What is the Empire State, right? That's
the Empire State.
New York, New York.
Yeah, I got some. Yeah.
I mean, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, right? That's what Sinatra says anyway.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, Sinatra knows apparently.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, but again, we're October. Man, I love this month.
Yes.
Halloween is my number one favorite holiday.
Indeed.
Followed by
it is mine
Christmas,
too, yeah.
Then Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Basically, the last 3 months are the best months of my life.
Yep.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
Yeah. So we're doing some spooky kind of creepy stuff. Today we're gonna be talking about a very interesting yet creepy, spooky disappearance.
I really find those very interesting.
Yeah. Me too.
really find those really interesting.
Yes, good English. Good New York English there, buddy.
Hey, you know.
And this one is to me is also one of those because it just of how little I can't even say little. The fact that there's absolutely no evidence of his disappearance at all, or him at all.
And those are very intriguing.
Yes.
Scary as hell, but
Yes,
very intriguing.
very scary. But before we get into the whole topic of the night, let's go ahead and do some fun facts about the great state
Indeed.
of New York. So why don't you kick it off with the first one there, James?
I certainly will. New York, of course, was one of the original 13
Colleges?
Of course, no problem. New York was one of the original 13 from the United States. Of course, it was called New York after York, which,
Correct.
as all we know, was sacked by Wallace.
Oh, Wallace!
Wallace has sacked York.
And then he got sacked when they took a sack.
That is true.
The first people to arrive in New York arrived in 10,000 BC.
By cab.
By cab, yes.
By cab.
Yeah, by cab. And they were all going to Central Park.
Adirondack Park.
Where's my damn
Adirondack. Adirondack.
There you
Okay,
go.
I got it right. Adirondack Park in New York is larger than any other national park in the United States, outside of Alaska, of course. The park covers an area of 28 million acres.
And I wanted to be sure to include
Really?
that because today's disappearance took place in Adirondack. What do you say?
Adirondack.
Park. Yeah, there we go. Adirondack Park. Anyway,
That's a
yeah. There's also a secret train station known as Track 61 below the Waldorf Astoria. There's also a secret train station known as Track 61 below the Waldorf Astoria, which is the most famous historical hotel in New York City. During the 1930s, the train station was built for the secret entrance of former President Franklin Roosevelt to the hotel.
Isn't that where the slime river is?
In Ghostbusters 2? That's correct.
I think that is what that is. That abandoned hotel.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good buddy.
Did you know that
No.
after the Brooklyn Bridge was completed and was open for the public to use, 21 elephants, 7 camels, and 10 dromedaries, whatever the hell those are,
Basically furry camels.
basically furry camels, crossed the bridge to demonstrate that the bridge was safe and ready for use? I'm talking like this on purpose because that's the way it's written.
You should read old timey like, newsflash, did you know that Brooklyn Bridge is open?
The elephant stunt had been performed because of a woman. The elephant stunt had to be performed because a woman fell from the bridge, causing a stampede that killed 12 people. Well, it ain't. How is that the bridge builder's fault if she fell? Stupid. After this news broke out, people generally believed the bridge was unsafe, and thus the elephant walk came to be.
Sounds like that scene from Aladdin when he shows up with all his elephants and camels and stuff.
Yep. Mr. Aladdin, sir, will you test this mother? Yeah,
What? That's the adult version.
we'll just leave it at that.
In New York City, New York is the most linguistically diverse city with over 800 spoken languages, and 4 in 10 households speak a language other than English.
What are you talking about, eh?
That's definitely not English. That's one
That's
of those
Italian.
800 languages. Yeah,
You got the Brooklyn Italians, you got the Queens Italians, you got.
I think they have more than just the Italians. You know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I like the Italians. They're cool. This one is hilarious, and I don't find this odd at all. New Yorkers bite 10 times more people than sharks do worldwide every year.
That's man.
I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you people? Jeez.
Look, if any place is where the zombie apocalypse is going to start, it's going to be New York.
Now, let's put it this way. I did go to New York City. I've been to upstate New York. I've been all around. There's this great restaurant called The Silo. If you're ever there in New York and Ticonderoga,
Okay.
in that area, I went to the Star Trek Museum there, but they have that restaurant. Fantastic eggs Benedict, and the people there are fantastic. The state is gorgeous. Like I said, I did go to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
That's an experience. If you go, take the train from Jersey.
Okay.
Don't drive.
Okay.
It literally costs $15 just to get, across the Lincoln Bridge to the tunnel, and then it's like another $5 when you're leaving to get on the turnpike for Jersey. It's $20 a day just to get in and out. Other than that, then you got to pay to park somewhere and then take cabs everywhere. It's ridiculous.
That's how they get you.
It is ridiculous. And the cab rides it's an experience in itself. Let's just put it that way. Down on Times Square, we were at a restaurant eating with one of our friends' uncles. We got done, walked down the stairs, and I was like, hey, it's still daylight out. Man, this is awesome. I walked outside. It was pitch black. All the lights, of course, were Times Square lights.
Yeah.
We did all the touristy crap. It was a lot of fun, but I am probably never going to go back there.
Did you go in the summer or the winter?
I actually went in the spring. We went April, I believe.
How was it? Nice?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't cold, but it was cool. And it was actually quite nice. The Empire State Building, we did, like I said, we did all the typical stuff, the statue, everything. Yeah. So I got it all out of the way. Probably never go back. Also highly recommend the 9/11 Museum.
Okay.
It is eerie.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it is sad and eerie, Zero. But what a beautiful memorial to those people.
Yeah.
I mean, fantastically done, and those fountains that they built where the towers used to stand.
Right, yeah.
And you would think as big as they were, those holes would be bigger in the ground, but you look at it, and it's like they're really not that big of a square. I mean, it's big, but it's not like, holy shit.
Not what you would think of as being
for something that's
so tall.
110 stories tall or whatever it was. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Well, let's get into some famous New Yorkers real quick. We have the Italian stallion himself,
Adrian.
Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone.
One of my favorite actors. I mean, I know his acting ability is not good, but his movies are fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I love his movies. Even Stop When My Mom Will Shoot is a great movie. Yes. What's your favorite Stallone movie?
Well,
and we're not counting the Rockies because those are givens.
Okay.
Those are
if I have
non-Rocky, non-Rambo.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, you got to take those out because those are established franchises. I'm talking about like one-offs.
Well, let's see. If that was the case, I'd probably go with the Expendables.
Okay.
I like the Expendables. Good action.
Not bad.
Also, Escape Plan. I
said one. Said one favorite, not two.
But yeah, well, I'll go with those then.
Okay. I'm gonna go Demolition Man.
Demolition Man is fantastic.
It's ahead of its time, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Next one.
Robert Downey Jr.
I am Iron Man.
That's right.
That's right. He's also Charlie Chaplin.
That's right.
And he's also Tropic Thunder.
Yes, that.
Yeah. And then Home Alone man himself, Macaulay Culkin, is from New York as well.
Yep. And we got our boy Pac.
Yep.
Tupac
Shakur, the rapper, artist, flowist. He's from there. Denzel Washington.
Zell.
That's right.
Fantastic actor.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic actor.
Great actor.
Jake. Yo, Jake. Give my money, fool.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's right. Oscar winning. His part in Glory.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like I said, fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the last one since you drooled so hard when you looked up the name.
I'm just surprised you don't know Alexandra Daddario.
The Daddario.
For someone who's such a fan of our other podcast, What the Suck, you'd be a fan of hers.
Okay.
She's a good actress, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So those are some famous people from New York.
There are tons of others. I mean,
oh my God,
way too many to the list.
Yeah, we looked it up, and there was like pages and pages. We're like, we just need to pick 6 and be done with it because there's so many people, good, bad, infamous. We can't go through more than that for sure.
Yep. True enough.
Yeah. But why don't we go ahead and get into your story of the day, buddy?
Let's do it, brother. All right, here we go, folks. We got a good one this week. For all of you
nerds out there,
all you nerds,
are you time travel? I'm actually a time travel nerd myself.
Me too.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. I'm in that group. Yeah, I'm in that group.
All right. The article's title is "Paradox-Free Time Travel is Theoretically Possible," the researchers say. The article is dated 27 September of 2020, just recent. written by Matthew Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you.
Good one.
The past is obdurate, Stephen King wrote in a book about a man who goes back in time to prevent the Kennedy assassination. It doesn't want to be changed. Sure it does. Turns out King might have been on to something. Countless science fiction tales have been explored of the paradox of what would happen if you went back in time and did something in the past that endangered the future. Perhaps like killed your old self.
Killed your
or
grandpa.
something like that.
Yeah.
Perhaps one of the most famous pop cultural examples. Pop cultural?
I guess that's
Let
a
me do
word.
that again. Because that's not what the word was.
Pop cultural.
Perhaps one of the most famous pop culture examples is in Back to the Future, my favorite personally. When it comes to time travel movies, there's none better.
Great movie.
When Marty McFly goes back in time and accidentally stops his parents from meeting, putting his own existence in jeopardy. He's a peeping Tom. I was just telling you earlier, I was actually watching these movies today.
Mm-hmm.
Just, lounging around being lazy before I came out.
Right.
But maybe McFly wasn't in much danger at all. According to a new paper from the researchers at the University of Queensland, even if time travel were possible, the paradox couldn't actually exist. Researchers ran the numbers and determined that even if you made a change in the past, the timeline would essentially self-correct, ensuring whatever happened to you back in time would still happen. Oh, man. So if you went back in time and gave yourselves the lottery numbers,
you would still be broke.
you'd still be broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair.
So it's a self-correcting, paradox-free time travel is what it's saying.
Interesting theory.
Yeah.
To quote, say you traveled in time in an attempt to stop COVID-19's patient zero from being exposed to the virus. University of Queensland scientist Fabio
Great
Costa.
name.
Fabio Costa told the university's news service. However, if you stop that individual from becoming infected, that would eliminate the motivation for you to go back and stop the pandemic in the first place. What? Why would it eliminate? Never mind. Said Costa, of course, who co-authored the paper with an honors undergraduate student. Who co-authored the paper with honors undergraduate student Jermaine Tobar. Quote, this is a paradox, an inconsistency.
Take 3.
To quote, this is a paradox, an inconsistency that often leads people to think that time travel cannot occur in our universe. I bet it can. A variation is known as the grandfather paradox, in which time traveler kills their own grandfather in the process, preventing the time traveler's birth. We just actually spoke about that.
Mm-hmm.
The logical paradox has given researchers a headache, in part because, according to Einstein, the logical paradox. I swear to God.
The local Einstein.
Yeah. The logical paradox has given researchers a headache, in part because, according to Einstein's theory of general relativity, closed time-like curves are possible, theoretically allowing an observer to travel back in time and interact with their past self, potentially endangering their own existence. His, hers, whatever. But these researchers say that such a paradox wouldn't necessarily exist because events would adjust themselves. Adjust themselves? I don't like the sound of that.
You like the way it says
No. Take the coronavirus patient zero example. You might try to stop patient zero from becoming infected, but in doing so, you would catch the virus and become patient zero, or someone else would. That makes sense. Tobar told the university's news service. In other words, a time traveler could make changes, but the original outcome would still find a way to happen. Nature finds a way.
That's right.
Maybe not the same way it happened in the first timeline, but close enough so the time traveler would still exist and would still be motivated to go back in time.
So you can't go back and stop the assassination of Kennedy. You can't go back and kill Hitler because if you kill Hitler, someone just as bad, if not worse, would come to power.
Either that, or if you stop Kennedy's assassination that day, they'd figure out, some other way to
Another
take
way.
him out at another point.
Exactly.
It would just change the history books as to the where and the why,
Right.
and the who, but it still
Would still happen.
happened.
Yeah, 'cause
and
it's got to
sad.
correct itself in order for the timeline to continue.
Yeah. Quote, no matter what you did, the salient
Sounds right to me.
works for me too, would just recalibrate around you, Tobar said. The paper, Reversible Dynamics with Closed Time-like Curves and Freedom of Choice, was published last week in the peer-reviewed journal Classical and Quantum Gravity.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Yes, it does. Blech. The findings seem consistent with another time travel study published this summer in the peer-reviewed journal Physical Review Letters. That study found that changes made in the past won't drastically alter the future.
Interesting.
Yeah, turn me loose. I bet I could make some pretty big impacts.
So you're saying that you're more powerful than the universe? Than time? You're saying you're more powerful than time?
Yes.
I'm
just going to say that.
You're just going to say yes? All right. Moving on. He's more powerful than time, people.
Best-selling science fiction author Blake Crotch.
Yeah, you did it again.
Damn it.
Blake Crotch.
Patreon material.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Best-selling science fiction author Blake Crouch, who had written extensively about time travel, said the new study seems to support what certain time travel tropes have posted.
Positive.
Who has written extensively about time travel, said the new study seems to support what certain time travel tropes have posited all along. The universe is deterministic, and attempts to alter past events X are destined to be forces which bring past event X into being. I hate when they get over wordy. Crouch never told NPR via email.
Wait, Crotch never told? What?
I didn't say Crotch.
You said Crotch never told. You're adding words in there.
I'm Mandelaing myself.
You are. Yeah. In another universe, you got this shit right.
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
We need to find that one then,
Yeah.
right? The email, quote, so the future can't affect the past, or maybe, quote, so the future can affect the past, or maybe time is just an illusion, but I guess it's all cool that the math checks out.
Yeah, so I mean, this is
That's an interesting topic, actually.
I've always, I mean, I'm no scientist by far, but I've always felt like time travel to the past. Let's put it specifically was irrelevant, because when you go and change the past, if you change a major event like the Kennedy assassination, Hitler rising, Stalin, the first atomic bomb, something that's major, you go change that. I always believed the universe splits off.
Yep.
Because the common theory, or from what I understand, the accepted theory of the multiverse is that every decision you make creates another alternate universe. So,
okay,
if you decide to wake up early one morning to go to work, then in another universe, that same morning you decided to sleep in, and so your day starts differently earlier in the one universe, universe A, whereas your day starts later in universe B, and because of that, your day goes differently.
That is very true.
And so, with big events like that, you I always believe you go change something like that, then that universe splits off, and the universe you can't say you came from universe A and you stopped the Kennedy assassination. Well, in universe A, that universe still has the Kennedy assassination, but because you stopped it, you actually caused a split off universe B, in which you did actually stop it. Mm-hmm. And so you're now living in universe B, which is a whole different universe from where you came from, because universe A still exists.
That's
Kennedy.
very interesting.
Kennedy still was assassinated, because you and I, everybody in the world
knows that
it happened.
Yeah.
But if somebody went back to stop it, it would have split off, and he would be living in that universe where Kennedy was never assassinated, but we would never know.
It would have to rewrite the memories of billions of people as well.
Well,
you know what I mean? Instantaneously
right.
Changing the past.
If it affected universe A.
Yeah.
But since it affects universe B, everybody going forward from that particular moment, there's no rewriting of their memories because it hadn't happened.
Yeah, and there's a couple of crazy examples I'll just run by real quick.
Sure.
Like first, they quote Stephen King at the beginning of this. Could that have been possibly one of his inspirations behind writing the Langoliers? Because remember, the Langoliers would eat dead time. Once past was gone, these things would come and eat the old time. And then if you were in the future, of course, there was nothing happening.
Right.
So that's kind of weird theory
and
too. Is there still a past? Once time is gone, can you actually go back to an old time, or has that time been evaporated? You know what I mean?
Right.
Could it physically be possible?
It still exists? And I mean, again, maybe it is, but again, maybe it splits off into different universe, so we have no idea.
And then another goofy movie. This is completely different. The movie Yesterday. If anybody's ever seen that movie,
I know
about the Beetle thing.
Right.
Was. I mean, it's a playful, fun movie, but it has an interesting concept.
Yeah.
15-second blackout. He gets in an accident, wakes up in the hospital, and him and like two other people on the whole face of the earth remember the Beatles. And nobody else does.
Right.
So he writes all their songs, and he goes out and starts to perform it and all this stuff. That plus the fact he meets John Lennon, who's still alive, and it's a pretty neat concept.
Thing. Right. And I mean, the movie we watched last week, Mandela Effect, had the sort of same type of thing. It sure did.
They had the chance to correct that mistake.
Right. But this is saying that is not what happens. It's saying that anytime someone travels to the past and they alter an event, the universe it's not going to split off to universe B where the event did or did not happen. It still stays universe A. It just self-corrects somehow.
Yep.
Which is very, very interesting. And you know what? To me, that kind of plays into the Mandela effect, because if somebody went back in time to change something and the universe corrected itself and it was different from how it was originally, that sounds just like the Mandela effect.
Yep. It's like if you save one life by going back in time, nature will right itself. Maybe take that life another way, or you may lose your life. You know, in other words, nature's going to get that soul one way or the other.
Time is going to reestablish itself.
Yeah.
So in that case, it creates false memories of an event that did actually happen, but because someone changed it, the memory is only slightly different, which is where you get things like, no Curious George not having a tail. You get things like Berenstein versus Berenstein.
Yep.
That kind of stuff. To me, that fits more in with the Mandela effect. Yeah.
This is an awesome subject, man. I'm telling you what, we could probably do a rest stop episode on some time travel one day.
Probably should. Yeah. That'd be a great episode.
Because, it seems like there's a lot of material we could discuss.
Oh my God. It'd be like, and we could probably get on with like some other people from like some of our sister shows who talk about time travel as well. And
absolutely.
Have a whole long 6 hour, talk that nobody will listen to. So yeah. So all right, buddy. Well, that was a good story. Thanks for sharing. Good find, man. I like that one a lot.
I liked it.
Very, very had me thinking a lot. Had my brain hurting because thinking so much.
Man, we got to stop that. Stop that thinking stuff.
Let's get into the main story, shall we?
Let's do it, man.
All right, man. So, as I mentioned, today's topic is on a very, very appearance that I literally found out about like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's right. We were going to do a different story.
We were going to cover a haunted house in the Bronx, New York. But I found out about this disappearance 3 days ago. It happened in 2015. But the second I found out about it, I was like, I'm scrapping that. We're doing this, and I had to spend literally 2 nights, like up hours and hours to try to get all the information I could on this.
Hey, stupid dope props to you, my brother, on the Audible, man. Way to go.
All right, so
because we haven't done another
disappearance in a while since Georgia.
Since Georgia.
Yeah. So today's topic is on the strange disappearance of Tom Messick. Now, Tom Messick was an experienced hunter, woodsman, and taught hunter and survival training for many years. and proudly served as in the U.S. Army as a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division.
Hooah!
Hooah!
That's one of my brothers.
That's right. Now, when Tom was in his 20s, an accident caused him to have 159 stitches and lose his right eye when some gunpowder exploded in his face.
Yipe.
And that's in his 20s. This is one tough guy, okay?
Yep.
So, but for more than 55 years, Tom had taken a yearly hunting trip into the Adirondack. Damn it. Tom had taken a yearly hunting trip into the Adirondack Mountains with a steady group of... Try it again. I'm recording right. Okay, good. I'm recording. Okay. Okay. Now, for more than 55 years, Tom had taken a yearly hunting trip into the Adirondack Mountains with a steady group of friends and family, and on November 15th, 2015, a group of 7 men left the area of Troy, New York to begin that trip. This group consisted of Tom, his friends Sid Sharp, Alan Rasmussen, Joe Capistelli, I love that name,
Capicelli, eh?
and Tom's son Rob and 2 other friends. The group... What's wrong?
Sarlacc over there. Rock, Sarlacc.
Jesus.
Go for it.
Parrots are fucking weird. The group usually hunted near Branton Lake. Branton. Try again. Take 475, bitch.
We've done this for weeks and weeks. This is 33 episodes, and you think
We still
get
fuck
it
up.
right by now, but hell no.
Hell no.
Fuck ups are good.
Fuck up. The group usually hunted near Brant Lake in northeast New York. But that day, they drove 2 miles southeast along Lily Pond Road to hunt near Lily Pond. The 4 older hunters, including Tom, were all in their 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
80 years old?
These are hardcore hunters, man.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah. They walked back down Lily Pond Road in 100-yard increments and then stopped and walked into the forest about 30 to 40 yards to take up positions as watchers. Now, what they would do is it would each be 100 yards apart. They would go 30, 40 yards in. They would stop and sit at some place, and they'd be watchers.
Yep.
What happened is the 3 younger men, they would end up going, I believe it was southeast about 100 yards, and then curve north another 100 yards into some hilly areas, some hill areas. And what they would do is they would try to flush out game towards the watchers.
Yep.
And so the 3 younger men just did just that. Tom's position sat him about 400 yards from Lily Pond, so he was a good distance from the lake, which actually it's like a large pond. It's not like a pond you think of. It's a pretty big pond. He was wearing a red plaid cap, camouflage jacket, and carrying a walkie-talkie, his rifle with 3 to 4 bullets, and snacks. There is some disagreement as to what Tom was actually doing at this time, as most reports state he found a large rock and sat and waited, while one of his hunting party members, Roland, stated Tom did not stay in his area and got up and walked around. But he's the only one who mentions Tom doing it. Every other report states that he found the rock because he's an experienced hunter. He knows how to do this game. So he's going to sit there and wait for a game to come towards him.
And even at that, he's not going to get himself lost because of his survival training.
Right. I mean, he was an extremely experienced hunter, would not stray from where he was expected to be. Also, he had a history of heart problems, and he had just finished a bout of shingles. So he was not going to be up and walking around all that much if he didn't have to.
I haven't heard about that, but man, I heard that hurts.
Yeah. I actually have to make sure I get, I'm 40 now. I got to make sure I get the vaccine because I had chicken pox so bad when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm almost guaranteed to have it later on if I don't get the vaccine. Yeah. For 2 hours, the watchers sat in their designated areas waiting for game to come by, but none did. Now, sometime during that 2-hour window, Sid hears a sound that he'd never heard before. He stated the sound was like a loud cracking or snapping that seemed to come about approximately 150 feet east of him near the hill area. He only heard it once and didn't hear it again. At 3 p.m., the remaining men gathered back at their vehicles. When Tom didn't show, they tried calling him on the walkie, but received no response. They then began the search of his last known location and area, but found no indication of Tom. No clothing, no food wrappers, no rifle, no shells, and no spent shells. Nothing at all. They fired several shots into the air and called for him over and over, while another member called the ranger station. When night came, the group split up, and 3 stayed in the area with the truck overnight and began driving up and down the road, blaring their horn, firing shots, and calling Tom's name. On Monday, November 16th, more than 24 state forest rangers, state police, and volunteers assembled in Horicon, New York, to begin their search for Tom, but no trace was found that day. Tuesday, the 17th, the search was joined by 34 volunteers from the New York State Federation for Search and Rescue Teams. An estimated 130 people went out looking for Tom, including dogs and a state police helicopter. No trace was found.
That's crazy.
This is like a day. By now, this is 2 days, and not a single. And the other members of his party were less than 100 yards from him.
Yeah.
So, and one he was the very last one out, because I think it was Sid, Al, the other guy Joe, and then Tom was the furthest from the lake. But yeah, they weren't that far apart. Wednesday the 18th brought a new round of searching, as they were joined by the Warren County Sheriff's Office, state conservation officers, and the FBI. Now, there's been some controversy brought up about this as to why the FBI got involved, because normally they don't get involved in missing person cases. However, a quick search of the FBI website says that while they will actively investigate missing person cases of children 12 or under, they will only get involved in other missing person cases when requested by a local authority.
Okay.
So while there was no inclusion of the fact that in any stories I could find, I think it can be assumed that someone at some point reached out to the FBI, as not only was this man elderly, but he was also a veteran.
Yeah. And they usually deal with kidnappings too. See,
Right.
They may have thought it might have been an abduction of some sort.
Well, no, because there was no indication of, because the initial cops that went up there found no indication of foul play, no indication, there was no note, no ransom note, no indication of why he had been kidnapped. And the FBI will get involved on a missing person cases when there's no indication of foul play or kidnapping, but only when requested.
Crazy.
Yeah. The teams expanded their search in areas that had not been searched earlier in the week, in addition to combing the area of the last known location. Again, the searchers turned up nothing. Not a rifle, no rounds, no spent shells, food, clothing, nothing. By Saturday, November 20th, numbers of searchers... try that again. By Saturday, November the 20th, the number of searchers rose to over 200, and by this point, the disappearance was starting to unnerve many people. Experienced searchers are unable to ascertain how an 82-year-old who has a history of heart problems, has a hearing aid, who's missing one eye, and was recovering from a bout of shingles could have escaped their search so far. The area where Messick was lost is state land bordered by roads and homes, which would seem to limit how far he could have traveled without coming upon shelter or assistance. But the searchers had covered over 4 miles around the spot he was last seen, and while there were some wooded and swampy spots, it's not too terribly thick or a difficult area of the woods. By the ninth consecutive day of searching, 7.3 miles of forest had been searched, 29 miles were walked with trained search dogs, dozens of hours were flown in helicopters, and a number of ponds were checked via boats.
Wow.
The Department of Environmental Conservation brought in 106 members of the state's Corrections Emergency Response Team, a group of state correction officers trained to find escaped prison inmates, and still no single trace of Tom Messick had been found.
I'm going to tell you what, this is starting to get kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You know, when that kind of disappearance happens, it just makes you...
This is an 82-year-old man.
82-year-old dude.
I think he was like 5'8" or something. It's average height, but
man,
he was wearing a red cap.
Yeah.
He was an experienced hunter, and while the group hadn't hunted near Lily Pond before, they had hunted near Brant Lake, which is not too far. It's like 12 miles away from that.
I wonder if it's your boy come back.
Who, Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Big 'em.
I don't know. They might have found some footprints, but then again, you never know.
I think, they would have said that if they did, but the loud cracking maybe could have been Bigfoot smacking a tree or something.
You never know.
Yeah, or maybe
you don't know. See,
yeah.
That's the only thing they said. They heard a loud crack, and then the old man disappeared.
But everything disappeared. His rifle, everything was gone. Yeah. This brought the number of people searching to over 300. There's been no trace of Messick, but there is no indication of foul play. but he only had a few candy bars on him and no water. In the days since his disappearance, the temperature at night had dropped to the 20s, and he was not wearing any winter clothes.
Okay. Now, I'm also going back to his survival training. See, these Rangers and these Special Forces guys, these Airborne Rangers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
They're badasses.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They know how to get through that. I'm wondering, it's just a theory, but I'm wondering if he just wanted to disappear. Maybe he was in an emotional state,
Okay.
and he's decided to vanish. A guy with that kind of training can evade a search. You know, if he still has his full fact, probably would. He wouldn't be out there with a firearm and stuff, I don't think, if he was not of right state of mind. Or
I also think
like
that if a guy who has that amount of training wanted to escape, he probably would have found a better time than when he went with 6 other people.
Well, they said a 7.3 mile diameter.
Right.
A trained man, even an old guy like him, if it was not difficult terrain, could probably traverse several more miles than that if he was, excuse me, good grief, if he was any kind of good shape. You know, he might have been in decent shape. My grandfather was in great shape up into his early 90s. I mean, he could hike, walk, climb, do whatever.
But this
I mean, I don't know. I'm just tossing that out as a possibility.
This also would indicate that he premeditated this, which means that he didn't have any sort of survival gear on him at that day.
Yeah.
So him being a survivalist would have had to get a pack together, place it at the rock that he knew he was day, so that when he got to the rock, he could uncover the pack with his water, some food, some water, rations, and some clothing, which he needs, which any survivalist know you need. And at the very least, he had a rifle, but at the very least, a hunting knife.
Yep.
You got to have a hunting knife. And pack all that, take it to the rock where he knew he was going to be that day.
Stage it and then haul ass.
Even though they had never been there before. So to me, that kind of rules that out, because they had never been to that part of the forest before.
So they know, but then again, it's like you said, it's highly unlikely, but it's just something I was thinking of while you've been reading the story here.
Yeah.
I've been kind of thinking that maybe he just wanted to vanish. Maybe he was through with life.
Because I had the same thought doing the research.
Yeah.
Because I poured over. There's one of the resources that I found, which will be in the show notes. They had an entire timeline of like the first. Hang on. I feel like I keep hearing something.
Huh.
They had a timeline of the entire first 6 months.
Gotcha.
Right, of all the different articles that came out during the searches and after the searches. And so while I was reading it, I was like, okay, at some point I thought maybe he just wanted to disappear.
Yep.
But there was never any indication that he prepared to disappear. And as we mentioned, he's a ranger.
Yep.
He's a hunter, a survivalist, so he knows how to do this stuff. So he would know, he would have to have elements to survive in advance.
And you'd be surprised what you can do in the woods.
Right.
You
but
know.
he also was recovering from shingles. He had heart problems.
Yeah.
So him being the experienced individual he was, probably would have realized that this was not the right time to stage an elaborate escape.
Yeah, and that's it. And that was another thing I was going to talk about, is the pond, but you said they air search the ponds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And from that high up, you can see a pond almost all the way to the bottom.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
helicopters.
It's not a lake,
stuff,
it's a
so
pond. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And if he had a red hat on and clothing, they would have been able to spot
the red hat. Nothing was found. Yeah.
But please continue, my friend.
The search continued The search continued as is through November 25th, when Messick's family members requested that the searchers spend time with their friends and family, because this was Thanksgiving weekend, and thus the search was scaled back with plans to start anew on Friday, November 27th. By that time, over 5,000 acres and 8 miles of the area around Lily Pond had been searched.
Holy crap. 5,000 acres is enormous.
Yeah, that's huge. However, when the search was renewed on Friday. However, when the search was renewed on Friday, November 27th, it wasn't with the full 300 plus individuals it had. This is another aspect that gave me chills. On November 24th, 2015, in Saratoga County, just 50 miles from the spot where Tom Messick went missing, 68-year-old Fred Drum left his home on Burgoyne.
That works for me.
Yeah, on Burgoyne Road, about 10 a.m. to do a walk of his 170-acre property and never returned home. Some of the rangers involved were reassigned to the Drum case. Drum is a white male approximately 5'5" and 175 pounds, and Drum had retired from a job with the National Grid and had been a member of the Saratoga Town Board at the time he went missing, but had declined to run for re-election, and his term was set to expire in the end of 2015.
What is the National Grid? That is interesting. I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. Let's find out real quick. Take two real quick, find out. Copy. Paste. Natural gas and electricity.
Natural Grid. Yeah, okay.
It's New York company, I guess. Oh, actually, based out of London, but yeah, that's what it is. A search was conducted of his property along a 1,000-acre adjacent area of land, but no signs of Drum turned up. Police said there were no activity on his credit cards, bank accounts, or his personal information that would show he was still alive. His vehicles were all left behind. 1 year after Drum's mysterious disappearance, authorities are still on the active search.
Wow.
There's currently a $10,000 reward for information that leads to finding him. So if anybody has any information, call the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office at 518-885-6761. While this massive search is going on, 50 miles away, a man walks out of his house to do a standard acre check that he probably did every day of his life on that land.
Vanishes untraced.
And vanishes. No credit card usage. His cars were all there. He was just wearing his normal clothes. Gone.
Jeez.
Just gone. Just in the same area.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I can't help it. Bigfoot.
I'm always going to say Bigfoot. That's always my go-to.
It's something.
On November 30th, 2015, the Tom was scaled back.
You got it.
On November 30th, 2015, the search for Tom Messick was scaled back again as 2 weeks had passed without a single trace of evidence as to what happened to him. Over 8,000 acres had been searched with absolutely no further clues to Messick's disappearance. None of his clothing, his gun, portable radio, or any other belongings were located. By January 2016, more than 10,000 searcher hours were expended, most during the initial intensive 10 days of the search. The DEC said that more than 11 square miles of land were grid searched, and nearly 3 square miles were searched twice.
Wow.
There were also 269 miles of linear searches and 156 miles of dog-aided searches conducted, and nearly 4 miles were searched by boat and 16 miles searched by all-terrain vehicle. The active large-scale search was called off not long after, but the case is still... Goddamn dogs, hang on. That's what I thought I heard earlier. The active large-scale search was called off not long after, but the case is still being investigated by multiple agencies, and not a single clue or trace of Tom Messick has ever been found. Tom Messick is 5'10", 160 pounds, and was last seen wearing a red plaid cap, camouflage jacket, and duck boots. If anyone has any information, please call the New York State Police, Troop G, Queensbury, at 518-745-1035.
God bless you, Tom, wherever you are, brother. Man, that sucks.
What do you think of the story, man? Creepy as shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you vanish without a trace, I see at least if there's a trace or some, if they can figure out at least what happened maybe or something like that, it's something. But when it's just like totally
just nothing,
that is just freaking next level.
I mean, because like in the Georgia one, we did the one of that guy who was a line worker, but they found like his boots and some chains, and something. They found something of him that day. They have not found and this was 2015. Yep. They have not found a single itty bitty trace of what happened to Tom Messick.
Yep. And going back to what I was saying, another thing is, if they had expert trackers, you would have found tracks, footsteps, something.
Yeah.
It's very hard to disguise that. The only way you could do that is like in a heavy snowstorm, and hopefully your steps get filled in before they see where you went.
They brought in inmate search and tracker,
dogs, everything.
and people whose living it is to find inmates who escape. These people are expert searchers. They didn't find anything of this.
And this is the largest national park in the country.
Outside of Alaska.
So, UFO, Bigfoot.
The loud snap and cracking also reminds me of some stories I've heard of sometimes people end up coming across like rips in time
Yeah.
And they end up in different parts of time and space or whatever.
You know, you never know, because you're right, man. There are too many stories like this where people just up and poof.
Yeah.
Just
and
out of existence, no traces.
Now, even though Sid said the sound came to the east of him, which was near the hills, I mean, there could be some reverb or something from where, and maybe it happened. Maybe Tom saw something, saw like a crack or something in the space-time continuum or whatever, just saw a crack in the veil, and was walking towards it, which happened to be towards the hill, when he got snatched, which caused the hole to close, which may have been the loud cracking or snapping that Sid had heard. I mean,
and that's what sucks about this whole thing. It's never going to come out of there. I won't say any names, but I had a friend who was out hunting with his father-in-law, and the same thing happened. He vanished. He looked for him. Of course, they brought out massive search parties after the fact, but it had snowed, and it was not until next spring they actually found him. They found his body. You know, animals that got to him and stuff like that. Found him with his rifle, but he didn't respond. My friend did not have any idea where he was.
Right.
He looked for him and looked for him and looked for him, and he was actually in a world of shit there for a while because they suspected foul play.
Gotcha.
Stuff.
Right.
So bless his heart, he went through some hell with that one.
But they found his body.
But they found it eventually.
Yeah.
Yes, and it wasn't but a couple miles from where he was looking.
Right.
Apparently, he'd wandered off and he had a heart problem or something, and it passed.
Same thing with Tom.
Couldn't respond.
Same thing with Tom.
And he was all by himself, so covering God knows how big of an area.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Same thing with Tom. But they didn't find his body, and that I think that's what stuck me the most. Not just that they didn't find his body, but like nothing. I mean, because he had candy wrappers, he had like Snickers with him or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and granted, experienced outdoorsmen, they don't like litter or anything. But if he was grabbed and kidnapped, there's a better than likely chance that like a empty wrapper would have fallen out of his pocket, or he would have used something like that to maybe leave a trail of where he was. Some sort of sign that he was there. Nothing.
And only 100 yards apart, if there was a UFO, his fellow hunters would have seen it.
Yeah, they would have seen it. Yeah.
Seen it, heard it, something.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was nothing out of the ordinary except for that loud crack or snap. Yeah.
Man, those kind of mysteries are just nuts.
But then within the same week, the other guy goes missing again. No trace whatsoever. And if it was just Tom Messick, that in itself is strange enough. That was strange enough. But the fact that you had the other guy go missing in the same area, same time frame, that right there is what drew me to want to actually talk about the story, because it's so, one disappearance is bad enough and it's sad enough and it's freaky enough. But then when you have two completely unrelated characters, and it's not even the same. Not that it's the same state, it's the same geographical location.
It's damn near on top of each other.
50 miles is nothing. Nothing. And for him to go missing as well.
At the same time.
Bigfoot is out there snatching people up. Let me tell you.
Snatching them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, James. Well, why don't you tell the fine folks where they can find us, because we're not lost.
We can be found.
Yeah, where we can be found if they want to find us.
Absolutely. We are on the fourthhand.com network.
Yes, sir.
We have changed platforms. We are now on Spreaker.
Yep.
Spreaker.com.
But the good thing is that even though we're on Spreaker, we're still on all the podcast apps.
Everywhere. We're even, as a matter, we're also being found on places like TuneIn, on televisions and stuff.
Yes.
We're everywhere.
We are also now on Audible and Amazon Music.
And we're also on Podbelly.
Which
I don't think we were on before. So this new platform, we're even
out
more
there.
out there. And I believe it's actually being reflected in our listens, because our listens are actually on the rise.
We actually, thanks to Spreaker, we were able to get onto 2 apps. Dang it, man. We were able to get.
Hear nothing.
I heard like a door opening. I think.
Oh, you did?
Oh, there she is, right there. Yeah. Oh. Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm getting the lotion on his back.
Oh, you pushed the lotion on the skin, huh?
Yeah.
It puts the lotions on the skin, or else it gets the hose again.
All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah. We are on 2 additional apps that I had never heard of, because one is focused mainly in Germany, and one is focused in India, where it has like some.
Fantastic.
We are actually getting out there to a lot more people now.
We are some international son bitches.
That's right, which is
I'm
awesome.
telling
Where
you.
else can they find us?
Of course, they can find us on the Big Evil Facebook. Please go there, like our page.
Yes, interact
as
with
a
us,
matter-
talk to us. We're on there.
Please, yes. I keep an eye on the posts, and I do respond when I
Send
see
us
stuff.
story ideas. Send us information. If you have any information on the topics we cover, send us that. Just send us. Just put a post. We will get back to you.
Please. Yes, we're also on Instagram, of course, which our following is growing constantly. We thank you for that. And we are also on Twitter, which is also doing well. We also have a Patreon page.
Yes, go check out the Patreon. You can find all of the ad-free episodes there. I'm still working on adding the back catalog because we started this like a month or two ago. And so we were only putting episodes going from that time forward. But I'm adding the back catalog.
Yes.
Ad-free, of course. All of our blooper gags are on there.
Yeah.
We have
And trust me, there's plenty.
special Patreon only. We have a ton of that stuff coming in the pipeline, so go check
And for
that out.
God's sakes, folks, it's dirt cheap.
It is dirt cheap.
We got the $1 level, which will get you access to the bloopers. $5 gets you the special episodes, and it gets you the ad-free, I believe.
Yes.
And then $10 gets you even more.
That's right.
I mean,
And don't forget we have the postcard giveaway, so give us a review.
Yes.
Send it to stateoffearpodcast@gmail.com. We will send you a 1996 X-Files postcard.
while we still have
Always
them.
have them.
And you know what? And after that, we'll figure out something else.
And go check out our merch shops at T Public. Just go
Yep.
to T Public and do a search for State of Fear, and we'll pop right up.
We'll pop right up. Go get you some good stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, but that being said, James, let's get ready to head out. I'm ready to go to the next state.
Yes.
I'm ready to maybe stop for a burger or something on the way out. But before we do that, why don't you reach into our box there and see who our indie
Let me see
indie
who
musician is this week?
Yeah, let's see who we got this week.
Yeah,
Let me
let's
look
see
around
what-
in here.
All right. Oh shit! Hang on. Nope, that's not it. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. And
All right, let's see what we got here. Dig it around. All right,
shit,
man. Check this.
Hang on. I think I closed it out. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. So we're doing. What are we doing? I forgot what song we're doing. Enemy by David Rosen. Okay.
Yep.
He's a award-winning composer. No, let's not do that one. Yeah. We'll still do. I'll do a. Just hang on. We'll do this whole thing
We'll
over
just-
again.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah. We'll do this.
I was sitting there going, you going to bring the shit up? So
Yeah, I
can read?
completely forgot to do that shit. Paste. Shit. Undo. Paste without formatting. Okay. From Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
And or
His song.
His song. We'll say his song, or what do you want to say? The song. How do you want to say that? His song.
Or how about, we'll just say, yeah.
Oh, here's what you do. You'll say, "Today I've got Enemy" by David Rosen, and
There
then
you
talk
go.
about him. Yeah. Let's do Enemy. Enema by David Rosen. Okay. All right. So let's try this again, shall we?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you know what, James? I am about ready to get out of this state. Let's go on to the next state.
Yeah, it's time to boogie, man. Let
Maybe,
me reach in the bag here and see what I
see
can
what we got
find.
going on. See what you can find for today's indie musician.
All right. Now, here we go.
Try it again.
down.
Hang on,
That's
try it
okay.
again. Try it again. Let me see. How long is it? It is.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's 6 seconds. So
I'll just wait till it quits.
okay, and
All right. Let me dig around here. No, not that. Okay, here we go. This is a good one here, brother. This one is called Enemy by David Rosen. He's an award-winning music composer and producer with almost 2 decades of experience in the industry. And this guy is from Brooklyn, New York.
oh, New York. All right,
New York on New York. We hit one.
Yeah, we did
finally.
one finally. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's get down the road. Let's get that tape in, and then we'll see y'all in the next state.
You bet, brother. Let's get on down the road. Let's pop it in.